Hello, it is I, your boy Gomi, and we are back covering some more fights on UFC 291. We're actually going to be looking at the third fight. I believe they move it to third fight on the card, or it might not be third. Regardless, we're looking at one of the fights on the card, Michel Pereira versus my boy, Veteran Wonderboy Thompson. Hey guys, I got a spicy opportunity for y'all. I am partnering up with MyBookie.ag, and if you follow the link in the description below, you could get a chance to win one of 2 signed gloves from the legend himself and my guy, Dustin the Diamond Porier, in honor of his BMF title fight that goes down on 291. But besides the gloves, MyBookie is running other prizes you can get, such as free plays, which are just more opportunities to win some bets. Plus, you can also win some of Dustin the Diamond Porier's favorite hot sauce, which is pretty damn good, by the way. You just gotta click the link in the description to log in and follow the instructions to enter the giveaway. But you don't got an account? No worries, there's a nice sign up link in the description too. And back to the video. So, getting into this welterweight matchup, this is a striker's delight. This is a dream fight, honestly. This is a fight that I have wanted for quite some time. I messed up on Wonderboy's record, by the way. It's 17-6, not 14-6. But this is such a good fight, man. This is gonna be such a fun fight. Is it like super high level? No. To be fair, it's a guy who's avoiding any wrestlers in his division, and it's another guy who has double-digit losses, but it's exciting. That's the thing about UFC 291. It's not about insane high-level elite matchups. It's about fucking exciting fights, and that's what this is. So let's break it down. Gonna be a welterweight matchup. Veteran Wonderboy Thompson is gonna be 40 years of age. Has a record of 17 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw. He's going to have 8 knockouts, 1 submission. He's gonna be 6 foot in terms of height, orthodox stance, a 75-inch reach advantage, a 0.27 takedown average, a 49.49% significant strike accuracy, a minus 180 favorite. He has significant wins over Kevin Holland, Jeff Neal, Vicente Luque, and Jorge Masvidal. Keep in mind though, I had to dig really far back for that Jorge Masvidal win, to be honest with you. That's back in 2017, so oof. Then, standing across from him is Michel Pereira, who is surprisingly 29 years of age. I feel like I've seen this guy fight 100 times, and yet he's only 29. That's insane to me, but yes, 29 years of age, 28 wins, 11 losses. He has 10 knockouts, 7 submissions, 6'1" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 73-inch reach disadvantage, a 1.58 takedown average, a 56.24% significant strike accuracy, plus 155 underdog, with significant wins over Santiago Ponzinibbio, Andre Fiallo, Nico Price, and Chaos Williams. So right off the bat, you're going to look at Wonderboy and you're going to look at his wins. He has better wins. Wonderboy, despite having less fights, is more of a veteran in the UFC, because I know for a fact Wonderboy's been fighting for years. Made his debut in what, 2013, I believe it was? It was, oh god, 2012. Yes, he made his debut in 2012. And another thing to mention about Wonderboy is he went up against killers. He went up against some old killers, but some new killers. As you see, knocked out the former middleweight champion. He was the first person to knock out, he knocked out Whitaker before it was cool, before Izzy Andrikis was doing it. He also fought Matt the Immortal Brown. He had some pretty good ones. Ellenberger's pretty good. Johnny Hendricks as well too. Granted, old USADA Johnny Hendricks. McDonald as well, Rory McDonald. And then those wars against Woodley. Just overall, Wonderboy has had the much more solid terms of resume, basically. He's more of a veteran. He's 40 years old. But Michel Pereira does have that age. That is something to mention. Now then, I don't think Wonderboy is really slowing down significantly like most 40-year-olds. The thing is, Wonderboy did have that war against a surging Kevin Holland, and that was a pure striking battle. So Kevin Holland and also Wonderboy have only really struggled when it's really come to grappling exchanges. They're not the best. They're not very good grapplers. Well, Kevin Holland's good grappling, but he's bad at wrestling, if you know, I understand. But that's just the thing, though. Wonderboy was still so fast in that fight. Kevin Holland even said, man, that old mother effer fast. He was just so fast. And his speed, his precision, his accuracy, and those kicks had so much power to them that they broke Kevin Holland's arm. Just Wonderboy has proven that he's still, even in his age, he's just such a technically gifted striker overall. I know a lot of people aren't fan of the karate striking style, and I'm not really a fan of the karate striking style, to be honest with you, as well too. Like, I think it could get caught. I don't like the hands down, but Wonderboy makes it work. If it's going up against a wrestler like against Gilbert Burns and Bilal Muhammad, they're gonna take him out. They're not gonna take him out. They're gonna hold him down and grind out a decision to him. I'm not I really like Burns. I like his fighting style. I was not a fan of the way he fought against Wonderboy. I hated how Bilal Muhammad fought against Wonderboy, but they both won. They both were effective, and they beat him out in the wrestling, showing that he has massive holes, which is insane because back in the day, he used to be an amazing anti-wrestler. He used to be one of the best anti-wrestlers, and once upon a time, he had a 80% takedown defense. Now, it's all the way down to 64%, and that's from Bilal Muhammad and Gilbert Burns, to be honest with you. I think it's just age. It's just age. His knees just aren't what it once was, but he still hasn't aged in striking. He's aged like a fine wine in that aspect. I think he can piece him up on the feet, and I think he can just control distance, land some big shots. I don't think he'll be able to knock out Michel Pereira. I think Michel Pereira is really tough, but I think he can eke out a decision. I think it'll go kind of like how the Wonderboy fight went, or the Holland fight went, and even maybe a little bit of how the Neal fight went, to be honest with you. And even the Luque fight. Both guys are not as wild and crazy as Michel Pereira, but Pettis is, and he knocked him out. But Michel Pereira is wild, he's crazy, and he does have good power to him. That's the thing about Michel Pereira, is he's so crazy and unpredictable. You can never tell what he's going to do. He never lets you know his first move. But I will say, Michel Pereira in his last couple fights has fought more reserved. In his fight against Ponzinibbio, we saw, I did pull up, in fight against Ponzinibbio, he did not fight as wild and crazy as he usually did. He did also rely a lot more on the grappling. That's one thing to mention with Michel Pereira. He relied a lot more on the grappling his last couple fights. So, I don't know. Michel Pereira, I think at first he just came to UFC just to have fun and goof off, and it was fun. It was exciting. He had some really funny, weird fights. Despite his fight with Diego Sanchez being an awful fight, it was a fun fight to watch. I think now he's taking his career seriously. I think now he wants to go up in the rankings. I think he wants to become, have title aspirations. I'm going to be honest with you. He's young, so why not? Will he get past Wonderboy, though? If he really relies on the wrestling. That's the thing. Wonderboy, while it feels wrestling has deteriorated, I don't think it's deteriorated enough to the point where Michel Pereira can take him out. We saw Burns and Muhammad. They still struggled to get him down a lot of times. They did eventually, and they did hold him down. But Michel Pereira is not the grappler on their level. He's not going to do what they did. Maybe he can. Maybe Wonderboy's aged a lot more than we thought. It has been a little bit out since his fight against Kevin Holland, to be honest with you. He's not super active anymore. He's fighting really once a year, but who knows? I do like Wonderboy's chances, but I do like Michel Pereira's wrestling ability, and I like his striking. He's a pretty solid striker, able to land some really big shots at Nico Price and drop him a lot. And don't forget, if he does start going with those crazy backflip attacks, I don't know how Wonderboy's going to handle them. Wonderboy is used to fighting more traditional fighters, not a guy like Michel Pereira who could be wild, crazy, orthodox. Those are all things that we have to look at. And then, I'm going to say this every fight, we have to look at the elevation. Elevation is a thing. What happens when Michel Pereira gasses? Because he's known to gas. He gassed him out before a fight once in his workouts, pre-workout, where he's just doing stupid stuff. So he legitimately can gas out at some point in this fight. And Wonderboy, he doesn't really gas out. I can't think of a time where he really gassed out, honestly, in all his fights. He had those, one war and one awful fight against Woodley. But the thing is, he went the whole 25 minutes. And he's a decision fighter. Went into the 5th round against Till. He went to decision with Till. What am I saying? He went all the way to a decision against Jorge Masvidal. decision with Luque, decision with Neal, and that was a war right there. Burns, Muhammad, it doesn't matter. He's been decision, so he's got the cardio. He should be able to push through the Utah elevation, but what about Michel Pereira? What about him? Is he going to be able to survive there? And the thing is, if he gasses really bad in the third round, if Wonderboy keeps blasting those ferocious kicks and Michel Pereira isn't blocking them or blocking them poorly, he could break them. He could break something. He could get a knockout. So I'm going to lean towards decision, but if Utah really comes in effect, that elevation really comes into effect, I do like Wonderboy by knockout. Overall, I'm leaning towards him. Michel Pereira might be a good hedge, but I'm leaning towards Wonderboy. I think it's a pretty safe pick, and I think this should be a fun fight. If it wasn't for the co-main event and the main event, and also a few other fights in the card, wow, man, this is such a good card in terms of fights. But there are really 3 fights I feel will probably be better than this. Any other night, this would be fight of the night. But yes, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow my channel for all my detailed breakdown picks. We're going to keep busting out more UFC 291 videos. And once again, this has been your boy Gomi. Bye-bye.